All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony again, aka Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we have Miss Imari with us. How are you, Imari?
I'm good, thank you. How are
I'm amazing.
you?
Thank you so much for taking time today and giving us some jewels. You guys, she has a wealth of good stuff to give to us today. So if you stick around to the end, as a form of appreciation, I'm going to offer you an complimentary gift that I think is really going to help you in your next level of success. So stick around and let's see what Miss Imari has to share. So, Imari, start us off so that we get to know a little bit about you and just share one motivational quote that really inspires you, something that gets you going.
So, one motivational quote that kind of inspires me and, sorry to disappoint anybody that's looking for something philosophical, but it's actually a very simple quote that I live by on a daily basis. And it's just simply, if it's meant to be, it will be. For me, I'm a really big believer in fate and just kind of like, the universe controlling all these events that we don't know about that sort of leads up to these experiences that we have. So, for me with that quote, it just means that it kind of applies to when you really try hard for something and you put in your all and everything, and it just kind of you give it your all and it just doesn't work out. And, instead of getting discouraged and down and disappointed and just wanting to like quit overall, I just kind of tell myself, it just wasn't meant to be. Like that just wasn't my time, and kind of reminds me that maybe something better is about to happen.
Oh my gosh, I just love this. And today, like, I love listening to music, good quality music, but I love
Yeah.
listening to music. And today I was hearing a song that was saying exactly that. You know, if it's meant to be, it will be. And I
Yeah.
think that that is amazing that that's something that gets you going because a lot of times we can get discouraged and we just want to quit everything in life. When in
Yeah.
all actuality, it's just not, that person is not for you. It doesn't mean that something else isn't better that's for you. I've had plenty of
Exactly.
situations where I'm like, well, why didn't that work out? That should have worked out. And it truly puzzles me. But then later on, I'm presented with a better opportunity that maybe I wouldn't have been presented with if that other thing worked out. And that other thing was just like subpar. It wasn't even all like
Exactly.
it felt like a big deal in the moment. But when I look back on it, I'm like, well, it's not really that big of a deal. Life goes on.
Right.
Can you talk about a time in your life where you didn't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel and you had to overcome a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, a lot of things came in the way that maybe that particular situation you didn't feel like it was meant to be, but at the end of the day, you were able to see that goal or that dream to fruition?
hmm So it's actually something that I'm kind of currently going through right now. I am a current graduate student, so I am graduating in May. And so, right now I'm on the job hunt. I'm doing job hunting and trying to find, like that, stepping stone job that'll kind of help jumpstart my professional career. And, I live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, so it's a huge metropolitan area. And even though the opportunities are very affluent, it's very competitive in this area because, so many people are going for the job that you want, and so many people have the credentials that you already have. So it's really all about, like either like finding the right connections, like networking, or having that one thing that really makes you stand out. Because at this day and age, it's like everybody has a bachelor's, everyone has a master's, so that doesn't really matter. So, I actually had a job interview a couple weeks ago, and I made it to the second stage of interviewing, and I actually didn't end up getting the job. And I was very, very disappointed. I was very upset, and it was really hard for me to get over the fact that I didn't want the job because I felt like it was so perfect and that it was made for me, and I was so confident about it. And I even got like recruited for the job. I met a recruiter who thought that I would be perfect for the job, and they sped up the interview process and everything, and I thought everything was great and the interview went well, just to end up not getting it. So it was very hard and very discouraging. But something that helped me get through it and kind of, move forward with my life is when I had to tell myself, if it's meant to be, it would be. And clearly that wasn't meant for me. And then just surrounding myself with people that believe in me and that encourage me, and, you know, um, just kind of just to keep going, just to keep applying to other jobs and realizing that there are other opportunities out there. So just trying to stay optimistic and positive and taking it as a learning lesson. Maybe, because this didn't work out, at least this, allowed me to learn how to better present myself and market myself and conduct myself so that, the next time around I'll be more prepared and maybe I will get the job and it'll be a better job. So, yeah.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you would have gotten there and then they pull the funding 6 months later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like so many different things that can go wrong that you think that, oh, this is for me, and really is a disaster once you actually get it. I had
Yeah.
a friend talk about how she wanted a job with the World Trade Center and went through multiple interviews, and it looked like she would be getting that job. And it was before the whole 9/11 experience. And looking back on it, she's like, well, I'm glad I actually didn't get the job because I would have been one of those people in the 9/11 experience. So, I mean, it's just like she, at the time, she was like, what in the world? They basically said you have the job. And at the last minute, no, I didn't have a job. So, I think that sometimes we just need to look at situations for what it is. And I'm learning to do that in different areas of my life as well. And I always still go back to the same thing. I always go back to, well, when things were not given to me when I wanted them in the past, or given to me in the way that I wanted them in the past, something else always came along that actually was much better for me.
Right.
So, I think that if we look at it optimistically in that fashion, then we'll be okay. And we just, like you said, we learn from the experience. Can you talk a little bit about support systems and how they can help us through our challenges and our moments in life? Because obviously we can't do this all by ourselves. We need support in the way of, helping us when we're in our down moments, and celebrating our successes with us, and just moving through life with each other. And I always call it a reciprocal relationship. Like, how can we learn from each other?
Right.
Talk a little bit about maybe some support systems that you've had, or maybe some challenges with support systems when it comes to moving along in life.
So, some of the support systems that I have is, of course, my family and my friends, and I have a couple mentors as well, and they really just kind of help remind me of all my accomplishments and all that I have, going for myself, and they're really just like a great boost of confidence when I need it. Like when I didn't get the job, I actually ended up going home that weekend after I found out, and so I'm so glad that I went home and that I surrounded myself with my siblings and my mom, and they just kind of uplifted me. Because if I would have just stayed at home by myself, I would have just been thinking about it all weekend. So it's really nice to have friends and family to sort of, help take your mind off things and bring joy into your life and create those happy moments that get you through tough times like this when you're feeling really down. And then also having a mentor there that sort of gives you confidence and tells you all the great things about yourselves, but also gives you criticism, constructive criticism that kind of shows you why maybe things didn't go the way that they go. And then you're just like, oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe that is why. And so, they help you make corrective changes to your life so that you can be better and more prepared for the next time. And so I think support systems are just great for maintaining your self-esteem and just your sanity and reminding you that not everything in life is so bad and that it's not always about business.
Yeah, and support systems come in so many different forms. There's not one way to network and meet people, or collaborate with people, or bond with people. I mean, some people are very big on social media. Some people are very big on being totally off of social media and just interacting with people in the real world that you can physically touch.
Mhm.
There's so many different ways, and you can do a combination of it all. But I think that the most important thing is to find a community of, if you're a woman listening particularly, find a community of other ladies that are driven to something a little bit more than what they have. It's good to be, comfortable with where you are right now, because you want to be able to enjoy the moment, but always aspiring to something that's gonna even propel you further.
Yes.
And a lot of times, when we have these people in our lives that are there to listen to us, they're trustworthy, they're purpose-driven ladies, we move along a little faster, and we move along in a more quality way of life, as
Yes.
opposed to just having people around that are there to talk to, but they're not helping you to grow. you know, you can sit around and talk to anybody or gossip to anybody, but are these people actually helping you to grow? I think that's a more important question.
Right.
What would you say is the relationship between self-care and us growing and realizing our dreams as well and serving others? Because a lot of times, we might have people around us, but do we do everything that we can in order to bring our gifts into the world? A lot of times we're stuck in traffic, we're taking care of family members, we're taking care of ourselves, we're feeling overwhelmed and frustrated by all the demands of life that we don't have a whole lot of time left in our day to really sit down and say, okay, this is self-reflection mode, and this is the steps I'm going to take to be able to realize my dream, whatever that may be. So maybe talk a little bit about some challenges that you have in the self-care area, or some techniques that you've used that other people can also use. Anything you'd like to share?
So I think self-care is really important because it kind of gives you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. It kind of gives you a reason to keep going, and it also helps you appreciate the little things in life. So for me, when I'm really down and I just, there are just days where it's just like I really don't want to do it, or like I just don't feel like doing it. But then I think about how much better I feel after I accomplish something that helps improve myself or that helps me feel better, look better. So, right now I'm really trying to cut back on the sugar and reduce, sugary beverages and things like that, and really focus on skincare and hair care. And so, for me, when I get those things done, when I drink, a certain amount of water a day, or when I wash my hair every week and deep condition, things like that, if I'm having a bad day or a bad week, it's just like, well, at least I drank my water. At least I got my hair done, at least I did my laundry. It's kind of like people who make up their bed every day in the morning before they leave out. Well, at least I get to come home to a nice clean bed. And I think, when you have self-care, you just have more energy because, the more you take care of yourself, the more energy you have to do other things, the more productive you are. And, it's just kind of like you're feeding off of your own, self energy rather than having to rely on other people or other things, or what's the word I'm looking for, like substitutes. Some people, they rely, so much on caffeine to give them energy, when in actuality, if they just practice better self-care, they'd already have that energy within them. So I think self-care is really important.
Yeah, that's an awesome analogy, as far as, sometimes relying on substitutes or external things to help
Hmm.
you get through your day, where sometimes maybe it's just get more sleep.
Exactly. Like instead of waking up an extra hour just so that you can make it to Starbucks to get your coffee, why don't you just get an extra hour of sleep, and then you
Yeah.
won't even really need it?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny, like the way we think sometimes, like we're so dependent on something else, when really you can get the same result a different way.
Yeah.
Just think outside the box and be creative,
Right.
and
Hmm.
open up your mind to different perspectives. um in the middle of the day, a lot of times, people think to themselves, I can just go to the vending machine and get myself a candy bar or whatever it is that they like, and that's gonna, get me over the 2 or 3 o'clock hump before I have to, get out of this place at 5 o'clock
Right.
finally and sit in traffic or whatever. And they think that that's gonna, give them more energy. When in all actuality, if they just, drank a healthy smoothie or they ate something that was healthy, they would probably have even more energy.
Right.
It's just that you don't want to do that. And so I think
Exactly.
I think that there are, other ways of, giving ourselves self-care that we don't take advantage of, because we're just, a lot of us are creatures of habit.
Hmm.
Talk a little bit about what ladies can do if they are listening to us and they're saying to themselves, you guys sound great. I've heard this stuff before, but I don't know what to do at this point in my life. I just still feel stuck. I'm at this job that I really can't stand. I have this boss I really can't stand. I have these family members I really can't stand. I'm always tired. And I'm listening to you guys talk, and it sounds wonderful. But I just need one thing right now that I can use as encouragement to just take a baby step forward. What would you suggest to any of those ladies that are listening?
So I would just suggest just try something different, step outside of your comfort zone and just go for it and just try it. Give it a try. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And I feel like, so many people, they're just, like you said, they're so used to their habits and what they do and their norms that they don't really sometimes see the point of trying something different because they think what they're doing now is working for them, that they don't even see a potential, even possibility of having something better out there. So I would just really recommend just getting out there and trying something new and surrounding yourself with people who are always willing to do new things or exciting things. Like, for example, I'm used to job hunting online, but my university actually hosted a career fair. So I decided, why don't I try going to a career fair for once? And that's actually how I got the interview for the interview that I had last week. I met a recruiter there, and I would have never had that experience if I just stuck to online job hunting, or if I did, it would have taken, months or maybe even years. So just, try to find new adventures and new possibilities and try to surround yourself with people who are willing to open your mind and give you the opportunity to experience something new.
Yeah, I love that. And, there are times when I found that, yeah, if I didn't do XYZ, then I wouldn't have thought about this opportunity a different way, gone about it that way. And it
Right.
actually led to something even more by me taking a chance on doing something that was new, brand new to me. So, yeah, I think that even if it's just something very small, maybe
Right.
you're not someone that enjoys networking. Like for me, it's like second nature at this point. I network on a daily basis, but maybe you're not someone that particularly enjoys the network. Maybe just reaching out to one person a week. By the
Right.
end of the month, you reached out to 4 new people that you wouldn't have done. You wouldn't have networked out with those people if you said to yourself, "Oh, I just suck at networking." you know, yeah. If you keep saying you suck at networking, well, yeah, you suck at networking.
Right.
You're putting it out there, so you suck at networking. So I think that just try one little thing that you've never done before, something that's
Mhm.
manageable, that's realistic, that's easy, so that when you actually accomplish it, you feel good about yourself and you gain the confidence to do even more. Awesome. Thank you so much, Imari. I appreciate you. You said some awesome stuff today. And I know that ladies that are listening, they are definitely feeling like, okay, she gave me some encouraging tips. It's just a matter of us, taking the implementation steps forward. Any of you
Right.
listening, if you feel like you need someone in your corner to help support you, I love, love, love helping other women get to where they want to be in life. That just gives me so much joy to be a part of that process. And I love meeting new people. So if you want to join my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group, I've included that link in the description box. Or if you want to connect with me, just send me an email and we can connect a different way. And I said at the beginning of this interview that I would give you a complimentary gift for sticking around to the end. So anyone that you feel like you're struggling, maybe you're in a career that, maybe you're making really good money even, but it doesn't feel like it's a meaningful experience to you. And you want to be able to go into something that feels more aligned with who you are and what your values are. I can help you in areas of giving you free resources on identifying what your gifts are and looking at your experiences and putting everything together so that you can begin to make movement into a career that really lights you up. Something that when you think Monday morning, I feel on top of the world. And doing it in a healthy and whole way. We talked about self-care and how much that's important. And it really is, because if you're not treating yourself the best that you can, you're not necessarily going to put forth the amount of energy that you need to be able to carry out whatever that purpose or that mission is. So I'll provide you with free resources on how to live a healthier life in a stress-free way as well. Imari, are there any closing words that you would like to share with the ladies that are listening?
So, to those of you who are listening, my advice to you, my encouragement to you is to just keep pushing. I know things get hard. I know it's so easy to get discouraged. I know it can be frustrating and disappointing to not be where you want to be, or if it's taking longer to get there, but you just have to keep pushing. You have to keep trying. You can't give up because you just never know. Like, just always be willing to try something new and just always put yourself out there, put in that effort because, at the end of the day, like, what's the worst that can happen? Don't be scared of rejection, especially if you already think you're going to get rejected, then you might as well go ahead anyways, because then you're already prepared for the rejection. And then if you get it, then it's even more rewarding when you hear that you got accepted. So just keep trying. And the worst that they can do is say no. You know, that's the
Yeah.
worst that can happen is they say no when you just keep moving on with your life and try again next time.
Yes. Thank you so much for those words. And any of you listening, if you felt like nothing that we said today feels good to you, maybe it feels good to someone else. So share this content out with a family member or a friend that may be struggling, and they just need a few encouraging words to get them moving. And as I said, I love supporting other women. So you can pass along my contact info. All of Imari's contact info will be in the description box as well. And
Yes,
she's open to collaborating with other positive, purpose-driven women as well. So you can definitely reach out to her. And if
definitely. Or
any,
just if you want someone to talk to, I'm here.
yeah. And if
Yeah.
any of you also want to share your experiences, maybe you don't have a support system and you don't have anyone to talk to, that you feel like you have something, positive to say that other ladies should hear, reach out to me and I'll have you speak on one of my future interviews as well. I'm always about us uplifting each other no matter where we are in the world. So just reach out to me and I would love to hear your stories as well. Thank you, Imari. I appreciate you. And
Yes.
for all of you listening, just remember, no matter where you are in the world, always remember to live a life full of meaning and purpose. I'll connect with you in our future episodes. Talk to
Yes.
you
Thank you
soon.
so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome. Have an awesome rest of the day.
You too. Thank you.